Yep.
Okay, let me ask you.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Hello, everybody. We're going to start the live stream. I'm Ali here, the founders advocate at Wilby, and I'm here to answer your questions, all relating to the next bootcamp for scientist founders. I'm going to present a set of slides, and we've had loads of questions come in, and we've selected a subset of them that we're going to be answering, and we're going to start going through that shortly. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we'll get going. And while I do that, just to keep in mind, it's entirely possible to use the chat to submit new questions if you wanted to. Okay, so I am just going to figure out how to share the screen while this goes through. Okay. Would this be it? Yes. All right. Okay, so let's get started. This is our Ask Us Anything. Today I'm going to be talking about these 4 things, which is we're going to be going through very briefly about what we are at Wilby and what we do, what BSF 12 is. So that's the 12th time that we've run a course, and it's the first time that it's the boot camp for scientist founders. What the timeline application process is, and then we've had a bunch of questions come in, so I'm going to start answering them, and as other questions come in, I'll be reading those through as well and going through them. All right, let's get into it. So Wilby, what is Wilby? Here you can see a photo of Ale, who is our CEO, and some of our fellows, Devika, who is our COO. Essentially at Wilby, we help scientists create companies. We're venture operators. We're also investors. We're building, and we've continued to build, a global community of ambitious scientists, and we're helping them create companies through this playbook that we've created. Not only build it from initial ideation, but also walk through the journey and scale it. We want to kickstart that journey. We want to boost the existing scientist founders that are out there and that come to us. We want to help them find lab space, and we want to partner and build a venture with them in select cases. So BSF 12. BSF 12 is specifically for scientists who are interested in becoming founders. So that's postdocs, PIs, industry scientists who are a founder or who are about to become one. Ideally, the stage that we're at is that they're gearing up to raise funding in some way. Now, that doesn't necessarily always mean that you want to be raising money. It's just an indication of where you are in your journey. The next thing is that the idea here, the reason we're backing scientists is that we have this feeling that scientists are going to be solving the next set of super difficult but critical problems in the world. So the idea is that your solution here should aim to solve a global problem, and it involves a scientific breakthrough that you're going to be involved in and ideally have been historically involved in trying to address. Now, the format of BSF 12 is that it's a 2-week boot camp starting from October 18th to November 1st. It's a big commitment. It's 20 hours a week, and we expect 100% attendance. The idea here is that we will give you around 4 hours of contact time. So that's 1 hour group sessions, 4 times a week, 3 times a week, plus a one-on-one with myself or another member of the team. And overall, the point that, this might sound a lot when you hear it. The point here is that you're building your company throughout this process. It's not separate from your journey. It's actually trying to kind of give you a little bit of a rocket ship to hold on to get you started on that journey, which is going to have you eventually, hopefully, solving that global problem. One thing to mention is that the attendance here is 100% mandatory, right? So we can't miss any of the sessions, and the reason for that is, in that group of people, we want to make sure that there is this energy of, okay, we're going to be building this, we're going to be going fast, we're going to be generating new ways of trying to establish ourselves as a new company and solving the problems that we're going to go forward with. Okay, so the application process is relatively simple. The first thing you do is go to willbe.com/BSF. And there are then kind of 3 steps. Step 1 is you fill in your basic information. That's signing up for willbe.com. That includes information about why you're signing up, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get sent an email, which allows you to move on to step 2, which is the longer BSF application, which includes information about, okay, what problem are you looking to solve? What stage are you at? And other questions like that. Once you go through that process, there'll be a whole bunch of applications that come through from our side, just to have a bit of visibility. We'll go through it and find those set of applicants who are at the right stage of their journey where we can really partner with them and try to accelerate that process for them. And we invite some of the applicants for a 15 to 20-minute interview before we send out decisions around who the cohort is going to be for BSF 12. Just so that you get a sense of what we're working towards here, we've put a sample of 4 of the founders that we've previously worked with. And you can see here, for example, Kart, Shamit. These are all people who were scientists themselves, usually postdocs, and they're now running their own companies trying to solve a big problem using the technology that they've worked with. For example, one of the more easily accessible ones is Francesco here on the second one, who is the CEO and co-founder of Proxima Fusion. And they're building, they're bridging the energy of the stars to Earth with fusion power. So they're doing fusion power plants, which to most people who know what that is, it's a bit of a science fiction impossible task. But regardless, these are the kinds of people that we try to back and help in their journey. Okay. Now, I'm going to start going through some of the questions here. I'd also like to mention if there are questions from the wider audience who are live right now, please submit them in the chat. Otherwise, we're available. I'm available to answer your questions at ali@wilbe.com. So the first question. I don't fully meet all the requirements. For example, I'm not ready to raise. Should I apply? I would say yes, you should 100% apply. We've tried to capture a sense of where you are in your journey by saying these things such as you're about to raise or you're a postdoc or a PI. You don't have to meet all of the requirements. Please apply anyway. And as you go through the application, you'll see that there's room to not be all these things specifically. Okay. Yes, another one similarly. I'm currently a master's student, not technically a scientist yet. Well, I think some master's students would disagree. But I have an idea that I want to commercialize. Should I apply? Yes, absolutely. So scientists in our minds are not people who have university accreditation that says they're a scientist. As long as they're working in science, they have the expertise, and they have a solution that is based in science to solve a scientific problem, solve a global problem, that falls well within the category of BSF. Are you focused on a specific domain of technology? So you, I assume it's us. We are not. No, we're not focused on a specific domain. We're not focused on bio. We're not focused on, say, earth sciences. We're very broad. We're more if there is a focus here, it's scientists. It's people who are behind the science. That's what we're interested in. So the answer to that is no. If you are a scientist in pretty much any domain, we're open to it. Can I apply if I'm not associated with a university or research institution? Yes, you can apply. Please go through the application process. Similar to the other theme of questions you can see coming here, we're open. We're open to the problem that you're trying to solve, as long as you show that there is a scientific basis for what you're trying to solve, that you have the required expertise to be the person behind building the solution for it. And are there any fees to participate? So as long as you manage to go through the funnel of the application process and the interview, those selected people who become part of this small cohort of around 10 scientists, they don't have to pay any fees. The course is free for them. It's a little bit tough to get into that funnel by design, because we want to make sure that that core group of scientists are truly able to benefit from each other's presence as well as from us. And because of that, we want to remove any financial barriers. However, the barrier that exists is not financial. It's to show that you've got the track record of being the right person to take this solution forward. Okay. Okay. So that's where we're at the questions. I'll go through a few more of these. These were the questions that were submitted before, and then after that, I'll start sharing the screen and check if there are new questions that are being submitted. So you can meet us on September 26th. There is an event called Meet the Scientist Founders in London. You can find details about this at wilby.com/BSF. If you just have to scroll down to the bottom. And also, we're going to be in Boston on October 2nd. It's the Scientist's First Mixer. Both of those will have members of the team that you can come and ask questions about and kind of, get a sense of what we're like. And hopefully we'll attract you into the fold. Okay, yeah. So last thing to keep in mind, key thing, October 6th is a date to apply to the program at. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to me. You can see a photo of me there from days that I was much younger. Ali@wilby.com. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing your applications come through. Last thing to remember, wilby.com/BSF. That's where you're going to find all the information you need about the bootcamp. I'm going to stop sharing, see if there are any other questions that are rolling through. Okay. We have a question from Sten here. We have two founders. One is a scientist. The other is focused on business engineering masters only. So it is only for the scientist founder, or will the other founder stay out of the bootcamp? It's for both of you. It's not only for the scientist founder. It is for everybody who is involved in the venture, right? So this is something to keep in mind, because at the end of the day, you two will be an integral part of each other's journey. Awesome. You can see your CO Devika in the chat as well, which is great. So Anna is writing a comment. We're about to begin fundraising pre-seed. Is it too late for us to apply? It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time for you to apply. This is exactly the stage that we're looking to be able to get involved with your venture, because the idea here is that we want to both help you get to the maximum potential that you have, but also avoid making some in retrospect obvious, but not at the same in real time obvious mistakes. And this would be the perfect time. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a question around, do I so this is not coming from the chat, it's coming from the long list of questions we had before. Do I need to have an idea before I apply? I would say not necessarily. However, most of the time we find that if you're already trying and thinking about solving a problem that you've been working on for a large part of your research career, that really helps. Okay. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned a 20 hours a week commitment. What sort of self-study work will there be involved? And does it really need to be 20 hours? Well, 20 hours a week. So I understand why 20 hours a week on top of, say, a full-time research career or a graduate program sounds tough. But I want to say one thing before answering the real question, which is, if you're trying to build a venture, if you're trying to build a company, it's really hard. It's going to take a lot of time. And in the beginning, most of the time people will have something else that they're keeping on to while they're trying to set up the very, very early stages of it. So 20 hours a week, the idea here is that the time that you would normally spend setting up that venture, we're going to take that on, and we're going to help you make sure that this 2 weeks is going towards building the basics for that venture, if you haven't already done so. The other question is, what sort of self-study work? It will be things that are related to the 4 items on the curriculum, and it will be things that will be bespoke to you. So if in one of the areas of curriculum is around framing customer conversations, you'll find out you'll have to do some work related to that aspect in terms of the venture you're trying to set up. Are there any regulations for setting up a company from STEM? STEM, yes, there are regulations. It will depend on where you are at in the specific country that you're at and you're trying to set it up. And this will be covered in the setting up the right infrastructure segment of the bootcamp. For example, the need to set up in a specific country, etc. Mm-hmm. I don't feel quite ready to apply for this one. When is the next one? I think so. I don't know the background for this question, but I will say that one of the things to keep in mind is you'll never feel fully ready. That okay, now is the time to go and get started. So if this is appearing on your radar and you found this, you should probably go for it and apply at least. The next one, we don't have the details for that out yet, but there will be a next one relatively soon. Mm-hmm. Why is the class size capped at 10 people? So this is a good question. And now this course has been run, this program or a version of this has been run previously by us. And the reason that it's capped at 10 is because we're finding one of the most important aspects beyond us seeding good conversations within these cohorts is the quality of other people and the ability of other people to feel they have a voice in the room. So anything more than 10 people and it feels like a big lecture where you're just being told what to do. And well, what we want to do is we want to have this co-building, co-development culture within the whole boot camp. And so 10 is the maximum size. Okay. I think we've covered a whole bunch of them. I'll wait to see if there are any more that come through. Okay, we'll give it another 2-3 minutes. as always, I'm available for conversation or to just answer questions. It's ali@wilby.com. So that's ali@wilby.com. It's on the website if you scroll down. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest of the applications flow through. There's a question before I go. Yeah, thank you all for joining. Before I go, yes, this is recorded. This live stream will remain on a link, and you can see it. Also, there's more information on the website. There's FAQs as well, in addition to the questions that we've answered today, that you can see around the format. But I think, in the spirit of just getting things done and not looking into the precise thing too much, I would say if this feels correct for you, just go online and start applying, and give us the hard work of trying to find the match. And on that note, I'll leave it, and thank you everybody for joining. Awesome. Bye.